A couple of things before we play 220. You know, most comics get on stage and they do it in one language. You do it in 4 languages?
4 languages, yeah, but it depends on where, yeah. So, you know, most of the time it's in English, but then, you know, I've had French in Quebec, and then we're starting France next year. Mm-hmm. It's pretty ambitious. But next year, and then in Hindi and Punjabi all over India, and then sometimes I have these specialty shows in Canada and the States where Hindi and Punjabi promoters want me to do it in that language.
Is the crowd more receptive or less receptive?
No, they're just as receptive. It's just a different language, you know?
Do comics have to go through the same thing? Well, I know that they have to, you know, you book into corporate gigs and you end up in weird rooms, and rock bands always have stories of being in the weirdest room.
Yeah, yeah.
Has you ever shown up and be like, where am I doing this?
Yeah, I've had this one gig where it was sold to me as a corporate gig, and
so you think you're going to like accountants or something?
Exactly. Yeah. And it was myself and my opening act, Louis-José from Malawi. He's an African guy, and he's actually from Malawi, so he still has that African accent, and he has this high-pitched voice. So we land there, we go to the gig, we think it's a corporate, and all of a sudden, all these guys start filing in, and they're all like buff, built, tattoos, piercings, and you start going, I don't know about this, and you know, like, and then we figured out slowly as everybody started coming in that it was pretty much a gang, and then Delise was just like, I don't know if this is. Do you think this is what kind of company? Do you think this is? I don't know. And we got through it, but they were amazing. And so
was it like Hell's Angels, like a bike gang?
I don't know what it was. I don't want to say. I'm just saying I thought it was a gang. And I started asking them. I was like, "What kind of business are you guys in on stage?" And then, you know, it was all ethnic guys. Yeah. And then this one white guy in a suit walks in. I go, "Oh, and here comes the lawyer." And then everybody started laughing and went, "Hey, how did he guess?" And Delise was like, I thought you were going to die on that.
Time to play 220 with Sugar Sammy. Roll the animation, please. Sam, greatest stand-up comic ever.
Oh, Eddie Murphy.
Worst thing about being a stand-up?
No applause. I don't know.
Like that right there? Hey, what's the first word that pops into your head when you think of Canada?
Oh, kind.
America.
Oh, powerful.
Who would win a beauty contest between Stephen Harper or Michael Ignatieff?
Oh, Stephen Harper.
Sugar Ray the band or Sugar Ray Leonard?
Sugar Ray Leonard.
Good answer, by the way. Would you rather die by being tickled to death or smothered in hugs?
Oh, smothered in hugs.
What's your favorite water sport? Careful how you answer that.
Oh, water polo.
Well, okay, good answer. Best thing about being East Indian?
Oh, the food.
Greatest thing that Quebec has given the world?
Oh, French.
French. Oh, who's your favorite Montreal Canadian ever?
Matt's Naslund.
I love that guy.
Yeah, I love Matt's.
Matt's Naslund.
Yeah, Matt's for us was growing up. I mean, that's what represented us.
Well, because Matt's was the first European player to come into Montreal Canadian.
Exactly.
That was a big deal, right?
Yes, and he thrived, and was the last guy to get 100 points for the Montreal Canadiens.
Oh God, he was so good. How about this? Dubai Tower or CN Tower?
CN Tower.
Slumdog or Snoop Dogg?
Slumdog.
What's India's national sport?
Oh, it is field hockey.
You are correct.
Yeah.
What is Canada's national sport?
Lacrosse.
Taj Mahal or Massey Hall?
Oh, Taj Mahal.
Favorite restaurant in Montreal?
Ooh. Favorite restaurant in Montreal? Les Grillades Farhat. It's a sandwich place on Côte des Neiges Street.
Oh, there you go. Rocket Richard or Rocket Robin Hood?
Rocket Richard.
That's a good answer, because there'd be a riot if you said anything else. Which Canadian city should get an NHL franchise that doesn't already have one?
Quebec Nordiques.
Oh, you think they should come back?
Yes, that rivalry between the Canadians and the Nordiques was the best rivalry in history.
I thought as a Montrealer you were going to say the city that deserves an NHL franchise that doesn't have one currently is Toronto. That's what I thought you were going to say.
I would have said that.
Now, you're playing tomorrow night you're in Winnipeg, right?
Tomorrow night I'm in Winnipeg and then continue on all the way to Victoria.
You just did your first tour of the East Coast, right?
Yeah, first time in the East Coast.
What was it like?
It was actually fun and funny and a discovery for me because I'd only done Halifax before that, and then, you know, visiting all these towns and visiting Newfoundland for the first time, you know, was pretty special. It was pretty different, yeah.
It's an interesting place.
It is an interesting place. That accent. That accent.
The first time you heard that accent?
The first time I heard that, and I'd never heard an accent like it before that. Yeah, I don't even want to say it on the air. Can I?
You can say whatever you want.
Oh, no, I'm not going to say it.
So tomorrow night in Winnipeg, do you change your act depending on where you go in the country?
Yeah, I do, because every province has its own sort of culture and, you know, cultural reference and cultural center. So you sort of, you know, build around that, especially as the host of the tour. You want to be able to bring that local material out, do some research, and, you know, kind of bring them in, show them what I've got, but also talk to them about my perspective about them.
Sure. I bet that goes over well.
That does go over well.
What you opened for Chappelle? What was Chappelle like?
Oh, it was amazing. Look, you know, when you open for someone who's your hero, you know, and you know, I have many of them in the stand-up business. When you open for someone who you really admire, you hope that they're going to be really good people backstage and they're going to be nice, you know? You don't want your image of them to change. And I was so nervous before I met him, and I was in my dressing room just hanging out with my manager and going, should we go say hi? Or he's like, no, just chill, just hang out here. He'll come and say hi. Came in, said, hey, what's up? No entourage, no, you know, no bells and whistles around him. Just what's up, how's it going? Good to have you on the show. And was really, really generous towards a young guy just starting out, and it made me feel so good. I finished that show, and at the end of the show, you know, he was so happy with me. He doubled my pay, and that, yeah,
just like that?
Just like that. And that made me an even bigger fan. And, and I took that money and bought everything he's ever done on DVD and just, you know, kind of, I'll never forget that. You know, it's a very memorable moment in my life. It was the most nervous I'd ever been before a show and the happiest I'd been after.
Really good to have you on the show, man.
Thanks,
good to see you, of course.
Sammy, everybody.